Hey guys, this is Sai Fitness and today's video is my top tips for training during Ramadan. So Ramadan 2016 has now officially started and it's still in the summertime, so the hours are long that you're going to be fasting in. And something you've got to remember is that just because we're fasting, it doesn't mean that life stops. We've got to carry on with our life as we usually do. Just because we're not eating, it doesn't mean that we can now just be lazy, stay in bed all day, stay at home, not want to do anything. Because the point of Ramadan, remember, is that we're trying to put ourselves in the shoes of the less fortunate. People that don't have food, don't have water, the homeless, the poor, people like that, and they carry on with their lives every day to be able to survive. And it's something that we have to try and put ourselves in that position to see what they go through. So on that note, I'm now going to give you my top tips to ensure that you continue training during Ramadan. Okay, so my first tip, which is also the most important one, is don't stop working out. The reason why this tip is so important is because your muscles will continue to maintain itself as long as it's being used. So people, what they tend to do during Ramadan is they think, okay, I can't work out now. I haven't got the energy to do it. I haven't got the nutrition to do it. But you do. You still have a point in the day where you're eating and you're getting that nutrition. But yeah, it's not ideal. It's not what you're used to, where you have nutrition throughout the whole day. But it still can be. Your muscles still can be maintained through the nutrition that you're getting at night. So what you have to remember is, by stopping exercising, you're now telling your body, okay, you know what, I don't need this muscle anymore. I'm not using it during the month of Ramadan. So you're allowing your body to then say, okay, fine, I'm going to reduce in size and strength to what I feel you need during this time. So if you're telling it, okay, so during Ramadan, I'm going to not be eating properly, I'm going to stop training, you could reduce in size if you want, then that's exactly what it's going to do, because you're not actually using it for anything. So it will maintain itself as long as you're using it. So basically what you want to do is carry on going to the gym. You don't want to work out as hard, but I'll get to that point later on. But you want to continue working out and allowing your muscles to still feel like it's needed. My second tip is to adjust the intensity of your workouts. During Ramadan, of course, you're going to be fasting, so you're not providing your body with the nutrients that it needs, or the energy that's required to be able to fuel your workouts. So with that being said, your goal during the month of Ramadan is not to gain size, not to gain muscle, not to gain strength. It's more just to maintain your muscle so that you don't lose as much or lose any at all throughout these 30 days. So what I suggest for you to do is to watch the weights that you're using when you're lifting in the gym. So ideally, you should be lowering your weights a little bit so that you're not exhausting yourself. You're not able to do a new personal best with your lifting. You're more just trying to keep your muscles engaged so that it doesn't reduce in size. So it still feels like, just like my previous tip, so it still feels like it's being used and it's still needed. So if you're insisting still on not lowering your weights, which I know a lot of people might be doing, thanks to ego, then what I suggest then is you lower your reps instead. So if you're going to continue using your same weights, then lower the reps. If you don't want to lower the reps, then I suggest the one that I ideally think is to lower the weights a little bit, but continue the same reps. My next tip is train just before you break your fast. A lot of people have different ideas of when you should actually train during Ramadan. But I personally feel that the best time for you to train would be about an hour or 30 minutes before breaking your fast. The reason why I think that is because it's the ideal time just before you start eating again, which means that right after your workout, you're able to refuel yourself. So after having a long session or like a hard session, you're then going straight after it into breaking your fast, providing yourself with the nutrients I need, such as like protein and carbs again, to be able to help it rebuild straight away. If you work out first thing in the morning, just after you start your fast or a few hours after you start your fast, then it then leaves you with your body feeling dehydrated throughout the rest of the day, because of course you can't drink water and you can't refuel with protein, you can't restore the carbs that's needed in your body. So you're going for a longer period of time where your body is requiring this kind of energy, this source of fuel, but you're not providing it. So so the first thing in the morning, I wouldn't suggest that all to do. If you're doing it after you break your fast, which a lot of people tend to do, then you can do that, but the problem with that is that after you eat, after fasting the whole day, you tend to feel a bit tired, the energy level's a bit lower, and also because now that we're in the summer and we're fasting up until late at night, maybe like 9 o'clock, 9:15, then most gyms don't open up that late. So most gyms close at about 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night. So your time in the gym is a lot more limited. By the time you eat and then you're still gonna have to travel to the gym, you might just have a few more minutes until it closes, or it might already be closed. So a lot of people don't have that luxury of 24-hour gyms. So I would suggest the best time would be to train just before you break your fast. Your gym's open and you'll be able to refuel your body right after your workout, and you don't have to go dehydrated throughout the whole day. You can drink straight after it as soon as it's time to break fast. So about an hour or 45 minutes before breaking fast, so you have that little time to work out in, and then go and refuel yourself. The next tip is do not stuff yourself when it's time to eat. A lot of people tend to, as soon as it's time to break fast, they tend to go out there and eat anything and everything that they can and just overindulge in food. And that's a big mistake, because just think about it, you've been fasting for about 15 to 18 hours throughout the day, or maybe more in some countries, and your body hasn't had anything to eat or drink throughout the whole day. You're then all of a sudden coming up to it and giving it so much food at one point. You're putting so much stress and so much pressure on your stomach, and your body goes into shock during this. So it's like, okay, your body's now adapted to you not eating, and it's changed itself so that it can allow you to survive during this time. And then you suddenly come back with all this food. Your body's just going to take that food and it's going to store most of it as fat, because it doesn't need all of that after all those hours of not eating. What you should do is gradually bring it up into eating again. So what I suggest is have something small when it's time to break your fast, just something really small, just something to just about get food inside of you, and then wait about maybe 30 minutes and then have your proper meal. So like that, you're preparing your body and preparing your stomach for food to come back into it again. Next tip is to eat smart. So if you're working out just before you break your fast, then what I suggest you do after that is to go for more, well, first of all, take a protein shake. That's the best thing to take right after a workout, just because it gives your body that fast source of protein straight away right after your workout, and to allow it to start working straight away. So when it's time to break your fast, break it with a date and water, and then go straight into your whey protein or just your protein shake that you usually take. Right after that, I'll suggest for you to have some fast-acting carbs. I've spoken about carbs in another video that I made. You might see it in my channel called Carbs and More Carbs. It's basically fast-acting carbs is stuff like white rice, white bread, pasta, stuff like that. These fast-acting carbs, they come into your body straight away, and after a workout, it's the best thing that you could do to refuel your body, because your body's looking for that source of energy and source of fuel. So fast-acting carbs gives it to it straight away. If you're going to be eating in the morning, so you're going to wake up in the morning to start your fast, then what I suggest you have at that point is slow-acting carbs, which is all the brown stuff: brown bread, brown rice, brown pasta. All of these, because these kind of foods, when consumed, it goes into your blood a lot more slower, so it helps you feel fuller for longer, and throughout the day you won't be feeling as hungry, and it's going to be staying inside your body for a lot longer as well. And also another tip as well is to eat when you're eating in the morning as well, just before you start your fast. I want you to eat protein from food sources, because protein from food sources tends to digest a lot slower than taking it from protein shakes, from liquids. So that's another tip for you to remember, because a lot of people do tend to take protein in liquid form. They think, okay, I'm going to get more source of protein through my protein shakes instead. But that's actually not going to help, because it's going to be digested really quickly by your body, which means it's not going to stay in your body for long, and you're going to need more protein afterwards. So always take it from food sources if you're going to be taking it in the morning just for your fast. And then the only time for you to take it is just right after your workout, when you start breaking your fast. My last tip for today is to drink plenty of water. Always ensure that you're drinking plenty of water and keeping your body hydrated, because with water, that's what helps your muscles to repair. It helps you keep a healthy immune system. It helps give you energy throughout the day and for your workouts as well. Because remember, water is what keeps the whole mechanism in your body going. So you're now, with water, it's going to allow your body to work the way it should. So water is really important. I wouldn't suggest for you to have lots of water at one point. Spread it out throughout the whole evening when you're able to drink. So I'd suggest maybe about a glass or two of water every half an hour to an hour. And instead of taking just a big amount of water all at one time. So this has been my advice for today on how to maintain your muscles during Ramadan. But also keep in mind that this is the month of Ramadan, where it's not all about you, and it's not all about maintaining your muscles and looking after your body. It's a month of caring about others, giving to others, to worry about others, and charity most of all. So make that your main concern rather than worrying about your body. Look after yourself, don't get me wrong. Look after yourself, make sure you're maintaining your muscles, maintaining your strength, you're staying healthy and hydrated, but don't let that be your main concern. Don't let that be all you're focusing on during the month of Ramadan. There's a lot of self-reflection during this month, and it's something that you shouldn't be forgetting. Anyway, so that's been my video for today. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something new. If you have, then please give it a big thumbs up. Also, please share it with your friends and family, because there's a lot of people out there that might be looking for this kind of information and advice, and might be looking to learn of how they could train during Ramadan, or they might think that they have to stop training during Ramadan, but with this video then they can learn that they don't have to. So please do share it with them and spread the knowledge. And also don't forget to subscribe. Till the next video, see ya.